Hi guys, we are back with our green celebration. Now we have a holiday coming up, you always don't know what it is. We're going to take a little hiatus from just doing the holiday videos to go to a collection that I got many years ago, and it's probably one of my favorites, if not the favorite. I know I say it all the time, but when I saw these guys, I was so excited and mesmerized by their beauty. Because if you know me, I'm an 80s kid, grew up with the Ninja Turtles. My little brother had actually had all the toys because it was just the right age. They give me art supplies and stuff because I was an artist. But he is amazing. I lucked out on a 2-day sale where I was able to get all 4 of them for $60, which is just amazing. So you got to keep your eyes open for those great sales they do. It's very rare they'll do one of those ones again. But they are so awesome. I mean, look at him. I love the fact they make them lanky and floppy. This is also before, I think, yeah, they started putting the buildable logos on about just shortly before these guys. This was fairly new. The design is amazing. I mean, they have this shell here, which reminds me of Sheldon. If you guys remember, my first Build-A-Bear was a turtle. Sheldon has a shell that came off, and this shell does come off. So if you do buy them online, and you see the reviews on it, or see people will, the descriptions, make sure the shell's with them. I've seen many pictures where the shell is not with them. So that is ultimately sad when you're trying to collect a series set like this. Because this is one of those sets you want the whole set. Because otherwise, what was the point? And because I bought them at the time I bought them, they were still selling the weapons. Every once in a while, you'll still see some of these weapons in the discount bins, or they still have them in some of the stores, but it's getting few and far between. I don't even see these anymore. And they don't really sell much online either. So if you're lucky to find these on eBay or Amazon, I jump in the and you can afford it. I don't know how much they're going for right now. I didn't check on the weapons and know that all the turtles have their weapons, because that's the thing you want to look at when you buy them. They are really cool. So I love how, like, when they did this one, they did him in dark green. They give this little scowl, like little scowl face, because you know he's the tough one, and this the eyes and the expression they give it. And I love how they made the shape like a turtle head, and his plump cheeks, and he's got his mouth that kind of protrudes out, which is really cool. So the way they've stuffed him is really awesome. They have these really cool little hands with the 3 fingers and these big old floppy feet, and they got definitions where the toes are. So they really went out on these guys, put the detail on them. And instead of like having to get a costume for them, which is the best thing, because I mean, if you had to buy a turtle and put a costume on it, you might as well just buy 4 different turtles and put 4 different costumes on it. So just I think it made more sense just to prefabricate them with their design on them, with their knee pads and this their little belt. And all those little elbow pads and accessories, hand guards and whatever. It's really cool. And they give this little battle damage too. Isn't that cool? It's tiny little battle damage, really detailed in the stitch work. I love the way they've done him. And I don't know if you guys know, in the 80s we had these little toys called Popples. They kind of use that same technology on these guys. I was so excited. That's the other thing I thought was great. It's like an 80s character, 80s toy with an 80s design. So they have these Popple faces. I think he looks a little strange like this. But then again, you gotta realize that he's not really the partier his brothers are. He's more serious. So he's got this party face, which I call it, which is kind of just a little smirk. All right. I think it looks better with his battle face, because this is Raphael, and he's amazing. But yeah, I do like all the details they put in his bands right here, and make it look realistic. The little detail on the shell, which is really cool. And his weapons are just amazing. And they have these little bands right here. You can put their weapons on them so they can look, they're all battle ready. There's a little battle face and his weapons. With his weapons, they're a little hard to keep on his shell. I've noticed that when I put them on, because they're the ones that like to fall out all the time. So I really got to be careful. Raphael's almost lost his size 2 or 3 times. So me and Raphael are very careful, because he's also the one that in the movie, remember, he lost his size? So you be careful with him, because he's careless that way. More about the action than the actual being responsible. So we have to watch out for Raphael here. And it's cool too, is they also
now we're talking.
Give them their own voices.
Let's get out of here.
So
I was born ready.
And based on a really good friend of mine, a fan of the cartoons, she says this was the voices taken after the series done back in 2012, which would make a lot of sense, because these were done several years ago, so they might have been a direct reflection of the series that started in around 2012. So it's the newer voices.
I won and they lost. Let's get out of here.
That awesome?
I was born ready. I won and they lost.
So there's a lot of cool phrases, and he's just really well done. I love the best part about him, about all the turtles, which I love, is that they are so floppy. And they're very good to cuddle. You can cuddle in which way you want with them because they're just so fun to hold. And they look really good on my back when I have my bag on. When I put my bag on, they're all floppy. I just love it. So again, rare find if you can find them. I would suggest definitely buying a turtle if you can find them on eBay or Amazon. Again, we do have our Amazon link, so you can go check out what we have on Amazon or what links you can find through them. But like, awesome. Definitely part of my, I had to be must of my collection, which will lead in some of our 80s we're going to do later on, because I have a lot of different 80s toys, 80s ones, that resemble some of my childhood. And this is one of them. So if you want to come see his brothers, they're going to be in the next few videos. I'm sure you already know who they are. So come see and check them out. They are amazing. Like and subscribe. Me and Raphael are pretty excited about it, aren't we? Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, love you guys. Have a great day. And remember to come back around, check out which little animals we bring out next, and join our little links down below. Have a wonderful day.